Okay, I'm caffeinated. I'm ready to go. It's so nice to be here with you in this keto community. This is the channel that we talk about mostly about the habits surrounding our keto. One is like my father used to say all the time there was a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. And when she was bad, she was awful. Yep. So that, that was me. I was such a brat. Anyway, such a junk food, carb, sugar, garbage eating little girl. Oh, yes, I love the junk. But anyway, now we're keto and we do a great job of putting our keto lifestyle and way of eating together every day. If you've been with me over the years, you know that there's been adjustments to what I do. I love my keto. It has stabilized me in a way. It's like getting sober with food, eating keto, right? Because it's like you're accountable to yourself, but there's such a big community of all of us keto eaters out there that you can find people that do things similar to either what you want to do, what you need to do, what you like to do, and what need more support and backup for doing, right? I'm not everybody's cup of tea, that's for sure. And, most of my audience has stubborn metabolisms, whether you're 35 and you've done a lot of damage to your body, or you're 65 or 70 like me, or even older, where, you've still gotten back part of your life from like stabilizing the food. And when you stabilize the food, at least for me, doing the keto and putting it in chronometer and weighing and measuring, and as far as you want to take your keto way of eating, it stabilizes your life. It is like getting sober for me, food sober, because it's like we have such a wide window of choices and how we want to do it. And it just works. We can go crazy with our keto weighing and measuring and all of the certain little things that we do. We can tighten it up and keep it in a clean intermittent fasting way, which is what I do now. It we can just do so much with it. And I was just reading a couple of dozen of comments, and we are particular. We are Goldilocks in our way. And once you fine tune your keto way of eating, it's like you don't really want to like puncture it, move around. You might lose some of the flexibility from being keto structured and disciplined. But at the end of the day, you go to bed with a smile on your face as you hit your pillow because you've been very keto in what works for you. Now, sometimes we have the naughty bad habits and it gets difficult to deal with. Some of us are chronic weighers. Some of us are overly obsessed. What do they call that word? Oh, you know the word I'm thinking of, where you just get into what it is and you just spend so much time on it that you become no fun at a party, really. Pushing your keto lifestyle on other people. Yes, I've been there and done that. And now, well, I don't have to worry. I mean, what parties am I going to, right? So for me, I did low carb, high fat. Well, first I started the whole deal with Weight Watchers doing my channel. So if you go way, way back, you'll see me doing Weight Watchers with as much enthusiasm as I do keto. And then it was low carb, high fat. And then I read Dr. William Davis about, you know, the wheat belly. And I gave up the wheat and the sugar, and things began to come together. I was low carb, high fat, not really paying attention to the chronometer way of measuring out macros. Then I did that for a while. I mean, you can do as much or as little with your foods and still have great results. And if you're older, you might have picked up a few chronic illnesses and prescription pills along the way, or even, having diabetes and having to do injections of insulin along the way. And so some of you have been able to like slowly let the prescriptions and the insulin go with a keto lifestyle. It's great. Some people have worked on their behaviors, their habits, the binging, the purging, the overeating, all of the sort of things that came along, the nighttime eating. Yes, all of those sort of things may have come into play in your years of being on this planet with foods that we can use instead of our emotions, or in connection with our emotions. One of the things that I used to do tons, I was working and I had this boss from that other place, that hot place down below. Yeah, she was not a nice person. And I even applied the word evil to her at times. And man, I'm telling you, I would go home and just eat at her. And it almost became a crutch, like a permission slip to eat, because she was not, there's nothing fair or objective or looking out for her staff. None of that. It was just like today at 70, I would have left that job a long time ago if it was the job that I had today, right? And so sometimes we don't know what we know, and we stay in these situations because we need the benefits, we need the health insurance, we need the money. It's a tight job market. It's like, who wants to go through that whole thing of resume and applying and interviewing? And she was the sort of boss. At one point, she told me she was just so horrible. She said I needed to give her a 2-week notice if I was going to be sick or I had a doctor's appointment. So, like February 1st, I'm planning on being sick on Valentine's Day. So, I have a doctor's appointment, because I'm sick. Not the regularly scheduled, I've got a mammogram, I've got to, go for colonoscopy, those sort of things that are booked out. No, it's the sort of thing, and then one time she actually said 30-day notice if I'm going to be sick. Totally unrealistic. And then when I was eating 3 meals a day, I remember, I would get to work and I would have yogurt with peanut butter. That would be my kickoff breakfast, as it were. And she said, "Can't you just eat other times of the day?" And that's when I was 3 meals a day. And it's like, she was a pip. I mean, there was no human part about her that like I could ever find. And I used to eat at her. I was just, ugh. So anyway, that was then. This is now. I don't need to get re-upset about it. But somebody asked me, have I ever eaten at somebody? And she was probably the biggest person that I ate at. And then, of course, relationships that never should have been. Of course, I, used to eat at those. Those were a given. So lots of habits. The nighttime habit, I remember, breaking it. It was one of the toughest ones I had. I used to eat in bed with my guilty pleasure TV. At night, it was my reward for dealing with life on life's terms. And then, so then I did the no food in the bedroom thing. So I had to do my guilty pleasure TV in the living room with my treats at night. And then the treats at night ended up, they don't work. And what's that phrase? When you know better, you do better. That is 100% true. But when things get shaky emotionally, we can lose that discipline and structure and go back to the comfort of the comfort food eating, right? The thing about food is that it's very fluid and flexible. And when it's good, it's great. And when it's not so good, we tend to go back to that. That's it. That's the hug that we haven't been allowed to have. That's the caring. That's the face-to-face thing. That's the, finding somebody to validate our feelings, but then we come here and we get our feelings validated for our food habits that we want to change. And so that's what we work on here. And it's not a perfect landscape. It's not, puppy dog tails and rainbows and cupcakes every day, even keto cupcakes, right? So we have to, like, we do the best that we can each day. And that's how I look at it. I look at it like when I wake up in the morning and I ask for food sobriety for the next 24 hours, that's all I'm asking for. It's that package, and it's got one of those beautiful professional bows on it. And it's like I get to pull, the strip, and the bow and the top comes off, and here's my day. What are you going to do with it? Do I have my food prepped or planned? Is it in the fridge? Is it in the chronometer? Can I do a lot of the prepping of it, like my salad that I have now every day? Can I do that before I start my work day? So when I come home, eating the meal is just a second away. I just, reheat it. If it's, leftovers, I love leftovers. I love that, veggie, the dinner in a bowl. I've got my salad bowl here, and I've got my dinner in a bowl with the hot veggies, with the green beans or the carrots or the Brussels sprouts or the cauliflower or the zucchini or the yellow squash. Sometimes I have all of them with my portion of protein in it, and then I add that tablespoon of ghee. Well, I'm one happy camper. That's working for me today. Who knows? Tomorrow I could be sick of the salads, the dinner in a bowl. No, thank you. I want a steak, with 8 ounces of broccoli. Who knows? And so then I adapt to that. But right now I'm happy with my salad of mostly raw vegetables, and with that little bit of Fage yogurt and Bragg's dressing. And then my dinner in a bowl with the assortment of veggies. I love my veggies. I love my squashes. I'm not afraid of the carbs anymore, the total carbs in the veggies like I used to be. I'll have a garnet sweet potato. I haven't had a white potato in a while, but I can if I want one, but I don't. And then the spaghetti squash, the butternut squash, there another squash? Acorn squash, yeah. All those things that I love. And I'm not afraid of them. And they satisfy me. And, some of those vegetables end up, it's my sweetness almost, the squashes. There's just, like the butternut squash with cinnamon on it. It satisfies, and I like it. So that's how I conduct my life. I keep my water intake high. I keep my electrolyte intake high. I keep veggies. I just do the do every day with whatever is working for me. I don't eat what I don't want to eat. That's a recipe for getting naughty, right? And so I enjoy what I'm having. And right now, it's a nice combo of foods. It suits my purpose. It soothes my soul. It satiates me. My gut likes it and doesn't react. So it's a contentment that I never had with all the crap. I never had it. So just sharing that with you. Yes, I ate it, people. Bosses, they were the worst power hungry women that would tamp down the female staff. Oh, I'm telling you, there's special places for people like that, and it's not heaven. I'm telling you. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you the next time here on Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto. This is Sarah. Thank you for being part of my community. Bye-bye for now.